Kaliang persya haka yeng dor bar thawan kajala ka khatwai trik luber arjar arpuar kala kentu yang Meghalaya Energy Corporation Limited MEECL banle ye halo ka jingbuh dor shushu hadu san point khandai tingka ban pendon kam ya ka online payment nak banta ban siew ki bel bai thang boarding elektrik lingba ka payment gateway uba Charles Pongrop MLA ka All India Trinamool Congress haba kali ban rap hakanta kali jingkali haka dor bar mang tingka ul ong ba omdei ban sha ya kane namar ki wei ki portal kimbu dor ye kani ke jingkentu kalami adien ke cubab no ba prostuan tensong sembul mcerang ba ke jala badik mi ya ketanat cambording ubala pentip ba ka MEECL klai kren bat ka wei ka kanhun ka ba pentri kam ya kum kini ke portal.
Reply to start question 63. A. Yes, sir. MEPTCL pays the transaction charge of the payment gateway, while the consumer pays the charges levied by the bank with which the consumer is banking. B. Sir, the tariff for domestic category includes fixed charge and 2 energy charge. When there is no consumption of energy, only the fixed charge is being billed. C. Sir, loan is taken to cover capital cost for project implementation and working capital loan, power purchase and other expenditure. D. Sir, it is not a fact that MECL is not generating any revenue right from 1975. MECL and the erstwhile MSEB depends on the revenue generated to meet its expenses. E. Sir, delay payment charge is being levied if payment is not received after due date. As per MSERC Electricity Supply Code 2018, if the amount of the bill inclusive of arrears, if any, is not paid in full within the due date, a delayed payment charge of 1% on the outstanding amount, but exclusive of government electricity duty, will be levied for each 30 days or part thereof.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. Honorable Deputy Chief Minister had made his replies. So may I get more clarification by putting a question, like since when this pavement gateway has been implemented?
Sir, in fact, this payment gateway was initiated way back in 2014.
Honorable Deputy Chairman, sir, may I know how much the charge about paying through this pavement gateway?
The charge, I don't get the question. May I please?
Let's repeat the question.
I mean to get a clarification about how much charge through online payment through a pavement gateway. How much is charge extra?
Sir, I think the charges is depending upon the bankers, because the customer needs to have your own bank. So when online transfer takes place, I think that is the responsibility of the consumer individually with the banker.
Sir, because as per my knowledge, on every bill extra they are charging 6 rupees for every light bill. So if that is the case, then every light bill there must be extra charge by 6 rupees. Then suppose now if 1 lakh a consumer, then it will come 6 lakhs. So may I know, Honorable Deputy Chief Minister, whether he's aware about this or not?
Sir, yes, I'm aware about this. But as I've said, it is, it's the wisdom of the customer. Because you have your own bank account. If you want to go for payment gateway, means you have to go through bank. And then what happened is this commission is not being charged by the MECL. it is being charged by the concerned bank wherever the customer open their bank account.
Yes, Charles.
Mr. Speaker, sir, regarding the answer to reply 63A, MEPDCL pays the transaction charge. So, I do all my payments of MEPDCL online, and there is a charge of 5 rupees 90 paisa. But if you go to any other payment portal, whether it is Amazon or you pay your bills, other bills through your banks, there is no charges. And in fact, there was a notification, I don't have it with me, where the RBI had decided that payment gateways cannot charge additional charges. So will the MEPDCL take it up with the payment gateway, which is bill desk and something else, that they should avoid doing this, because this is not allowed.
Okay. Sir, I'm very thankful to the honorable member from Dr. Mai who has mentioned about this. Let me clarify here. In fact, from the MECL side, we engage one vendor who is dealing with the portal. We engage one vendor, and this vendor we are paying 2.5 paisa. 2 rupees 50 paisa each to each transfer, and this is not transferred to the customer. This is borne by the MECL itself while engaging the vendor, because see, sir, we cannot just go directly from the bank to the bank, because this is a regular monthly bill. So we need to also have a mechanism in place where the vendor or where the officer of the company, of the corporation, needs to again update the figures, the accounts on a regular basis with the finance section of the MECL. So therefore we have engaged a vendor, and then the vendor's charge is 2.5 paisa, and this 2.5 paisa commission is not at all transferred to the customer. But as I've already replied earlier, sixth, rightly said by honorable member from Shillong North, that 6 rupees is the banking commission charge, which they charge from the concerned customer. So if we talk about this 6 rupees, I think MECL has no role to play, because you have to take it up with your concerned banker. This is what I wanted to clarify, sir.
No. Mr. Speaker, sir, we've been paying regularly 5.90 paisa, not 6. I mean, maybe the honorable member from Shillong North will have to look into this. It is 5.9. But that is being charged to the customer, in addition to the bill raised by the MEPDCL. My question is, why are we paying this 5.9? I mean, that's what I want the MEPDCL to look into. It is not that they are doing it, they are not paying it from, they are not getting the money. But why are we being charged at 5.9 extra? That is the point. So they should take it up with the payment gateway. That is what I'm saying. There's no other portal, sir. If you go to pay through Amazon or through anything, they don't charge.
Sir, this issue will be examined by me.
Thank you.
I will
look into it.
Yeah, I will examine, sir. Yes, sir.
Sir.
About process.
Mr. Speaker, sir, may I know from Honourable Minister, if you look into reply of the 63B, when there is no consumption of energy, only the fixed charge is being billed. May I know from Honourable Minister how much the fixed charge have been fixed by the MECL, sir?
Sir, the fixed charge for domestic is 60 rupees per kilowatt per month, sir.
So again, we'll go to C. Reply of the minister that sir, loan is taken to cover capital costs for project implementation and working capital loan for power purchase and other expenditure. So may I know from Honorable Deputy Chief Minister in charge of power, how much the capital costs, capital costs for projection implementation have been taken loan, and how much the working capital loan for power purchase, sir?
Sir, the details is not readily available with me. For this question, I require notice.
Sir, one last, sir. So again, sir, may I know from Honorable Deputy Chief Minister in charge of power, said this, sir. So it is not the fact that MEECL is not generating any revenue right from 1975. MEECL and the erstwhile MSEB depend on the revenue generated to meet its expenses. So may I know from Honorable Deputy Chief Minister if you can give the breakup of revenue in 2019, 2020, and 2021-22, sir?
Sir, that also I think I require notice. That also I require notice, sir, because it takes time to compile everything, sir.
Sir. Yes, well, Zenit.
Sir, Mr. Speaker, sir, I want to get some clarification from the Honorable Chief Minister, Honorable Deputy Chief Minister, because this power sector is very important sector. It is a social sector, and every household, every individual needs power. So, in the course of the reply of the Honorable Deputy Chief Minister, he was talking about some commission to be taken by the bank and some vendor that has been appointed by MECL. So, I'm a little bit confused. Suppose the consumer, if they are going to the vendor, they need not go to bank for payment. That is alternative, or how it is, or both. That clarification. And in the course of the reply of the Honorable Deputy Chief Minister, he was mentioning sometimes 2.2 rupees 50 paisa to the vendor to be paid, and sometimes he said 2.5 paisa. That means 2.5 paisa is paisa, no? That is more than 3 paisa also. So that will be corrected also.
Okay, sir. Yes, let me clarify. It's 2.50 paisa. 2.5 means 2.50 paisa. 2.50 paisa.
No,
and then,
that is also incorrect. 2.5 rupee maybe.
Okay, yes, 2.5 rupee. Then point number 2, sir. Yes, apart from payment gateway, other mode of payment also can be done, sir.
Sir, one more. From the reply of the Honorable Deputy Chief Minister at D, I would like to know whether the MECL is self-reliant by its revenue collection, meaning, in other words, whether it is self-sufficient to meet its expenses, the entire expenses.
Sir, as of today, in fact, we are not at all self-sufficient to support all the day-to-day requirement of the corporation. That's why sometimes we are compelled to even take loan from open markets.
Sir, may I know the deficit amount as to how much deficit is there to meet its expenses per annum?
Sir, right now I don't have the detail because I think if I just give approximately also it's dangerous. So therefore for this, I think I again require notice, sir.
Saling.
Mr. Speaker, sir, sometimes, the maximum of the layman doesn't understand how the consumers are being liable or charges. Whether any kinds of sensitizations or any kind of notifications can be given to the public, because just now our Honorable Minister has spoken about the fixed charge. There is only 60 rupees. But what I can see is that those who didn't even use electricity at all, they are being charged with that, with 200 or 300 or 500 slab. Whether we are being cheated by those, linemen or by, so that we will not be cheated in the future. So maximum of the linemen, they used to, write their bill on their own. So once the sensitization is done, I think no one can cheat us. So either notification under such and such unit will be, given the bill, or slab of this much will be given. So that kind of sensitization, if can be made, if that can be studied to be made, I think I would like to request the Honorable Minister to do so, so that we will not be fooled in the future. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Yes, sir. Point noted. And in fact, there is one standing order from the Management Authority where all the field officers, they need to carry out their duties as per the prescribed direction from the Management Authority, and especially when you deal with the customers in the interior places, rural area, and in the state of Meghalaya. So that standing order is there, and then I will again instruct the management to again further strengthen or give some kind of reminder, so that the kind of faulty billing that does not happen, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the answer. Why I have asked this is that whenever you give some lump sum to any lineman, they are happy, and then they will cut down their bill, or then and there itself. It happens everywhere, especially in the villages. And then even now also, I have asked repeatedly actually regarding the bill without the current. It's still going on in my constituency. I don't know whether this is happening in other parts of the constituency, I don't know. But in my constituency, I've got few villages, still they're getting the bill without the current. Whether that is covered under the Saubhagya or not, I still doesn't know. From the Honorable Minister, whatever he had just before a few minutes back, he has answered about the Saubhagya that only few villages are covered. But those who are electrified without current, I mean, just that, what do you call this one? The transmitter only, that particular box is there, even though they are still getting the bill. So I would like to request the Honorable Minister kindly look into those matter. It's kind of seriously affecting those villages. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Yes, sir. Point noted, sir.
Okay. Babalajit.
So with regards to start question 63B, Deputy Chief Minister has replied. Now, my question is whether the government has taken any cognizance with regards to complaints of electricity bills spiking up around the villages, especially in the rural villages in our state.
Sir, yes, again, sir. I think I've already replied just a second ago. Sir, the complaint keep coming almost every now and then. If it is not from urban, again from rural areas, and this problem, it keep coming every now and then. So recently, direction has been given to all the field officer, subdivisional officer, to make sure again those meter readers, when they go down to visit the household, to be sure checking the meter, because sometimes human error also happens. Sometimes happen. Instead of writing 2, they write 4 or 5 or 6. So this instruction has been given very, very clearly, very, very strictly, that henceforth, because we really wanted to make sure that the complaint is reduced to the maximum. Because quite a number of cases, some of them, suppose for 2 months back, the bill is only 5,000 rupees. But today, when the bill was raised, it was shoot up to 10,000, sometimes 11,000, 12,000, which is, I think, not at all logical. So therefore, sir, instruction has been given from the government to the corporation to have a dedicated wing also, as far as complaints is concerned, as far as these recurring issues that are taking place, to kindly take it on a priority basis and also to rectify it as early as possible.
Yeah, come on, Parin, please.
Honorable Speaker, sir, may I request the Honorable Deputy CM and Power Minister to explain to me whether this free power scheme of the Prime Minister, Honorable Prime Minister, is also being charged under this fixed charge pattern that you have in the MECL?
Sir, free is, in fact, it is not free for charges. The free is connection. Connection is, yes, free, sir. But in course of time, when the bill is raised, that again, we cannot escape from the fixed charge and also from the energy bill.
So when we talk about the billing system, because there are a huge number of consumers who still have pending liabilities or non-payment of the bills. Last year, we have seen there is one scheme introduced by MECL, that OTS one-time settlement scheme, which has been of a great help for many consumers at village. I just want to know from the Honorable Deputy Chief Minister and Charge Power whether the government is intent to introduce again this OTS scheme for the benefit of the consumer at large.
Sir, that I will again examine. If it is feasible, maybe, but right now I cannot say anything. Let me again examine this issue.
Sir, regarding the MEPDCL, there's a recurring problem we face in the urban areas. Wherever there is a road which has to be broadened, there is an electric pole existing there. So when the department approaches the PWD department approaches the MEPDCL, they say you have to pay for it. Now the question is, you need the road to be widened. So is it the responsibility of the department or the individuals residing on the road to pay for the shifting of the poles, or it is the duty of the MEPDCL? That is what I think.
Sir, it is the duty of the concerned, maybe I should say, individual or the concerned department. Sir, I just wanted to narrate this issue. As far as developmental work is concerned, be it PLUD, be it PHE, and then be it other related department, when it links to shifting of utility, in fact, instruction has been given to the government. Those concerned department, they need to also include the shifting utility estimate. Once the estimate is prepared, make sure that the utility shifting estimate has also to be incorporated. So once the sanction is there, we don't have any more problem on this. So this one, sir, in fact, from the government, we have already decided and we have already instructed all the concerned department to also include the provision of shifting utilities.
Last Basaros, I think. Balasaros.
Mr. Speaker, sir, since we discussed the serious issue, that I have one issue regarding the whole of Meghalaya. The people who are, that means, especially most of the force lying vacant in different areas of Meghalaya, especially in Chapot, they're rendering their service for 9 years, 6 years, 7 years. 6 persons just working in my area, but they are not regularized. Is there any provisions for regularizations of these workers, those who are rendering their service? Because they are doing everything and they are doing every works that has been based upon them. So may I know from the Deputy Chief Minister in charge to look into the matter and to clarify this matter?
Sir, I think this supplementary question is outside the purview of the original question. However, his concern, his question, again, I will examine to it, sir.